Hello, and again, welcome to the Aperture Science Computer Aided Enrichment Center.
Multiverses, the next competitor trying to piggyback off the success of Super Smash Bros. And that's right, it's me, Lerald. As you've probably seen from this channel, me and many of my other friends have been pitching ideas for various characters to appear in multiverses. I mean, I've already brought up the best possible option already, but this idea I have now is still one me and plenty of my friends would love to see. In case this is your first time in one of these videos, basically Multiverses is a crossover platform fighter that is being made by Warner Bros. That features many different fictional characters from different genres, mainly owned by Warner Bros. Keyword being mainly. Multiverses has actually confirmed that future DLC characters won't be limited to just WB characters. The potential for the roster was already pretty large with just WB owned characters, but now there are limitless possibilities to what can be included. With the motto anything is possible, I decided to start thinking with Portals and discuss a series I think deserves more attention. That's right, I'm here to discuss Chell from Portal. Now you're probably thinking, for those of you who are uncultured, Portal is a puzzle platform game created by Valve. You play as a test subject named Chell who is forced to undergo a series of tests within the Aperture Science Enrichment Center by a malicious artificial intelligence named GLaDOS, who controls the facility. Most of these tests involve using the Aperture Science handheld portal device, or the portal gun for short, which creates two portals that connect between two flat surfaces. This game has been stated many times to be one of the greatest video games ever made, easily having over 4 million copies sold ever since its release, so it clearly has a big fan base behind it, making it only fitting that this game should be featured alongside these other iconic series. Heck, we know that this game is on Warner Bros.' radar, as putting Portal in Multiverses wouldn't be the first time we've seen it in a Warner Bros. Crossover before, as it was featured in LEGO Dimensions, featuring not only Chell as a playable figure, but also having its own level pack and world as well. This shows that Warner Bros. Is all for collaborating with Portal. There are plenty of other times that show that Portal is more than happy to cross over with other series, like Bomberman, Fall Guys, Minecraft, even appearing in a Geico commercial. So yeah, Portal is no stranger to crossovers. Portal has also become a lot more relevant recently, as the Portal games have not only been announced for the Nintendo Switch, but they're even finally coming out with some new Portal content called Aperture Desk Job. So Portal is currently fresh on everyone's mind, and a lot of people will definitely pop off to see Chell get included into the game. Now that I've gone over why she has a pretty good chance of getting in the game, let's see how she would play. In terms of the style of Chell's moveset, I think she would fall around the mage/range category, as her moveset would allow her to take control of the stage and create many obstacles for opponents to deal with. Her normal attacks will be pretty basic as well, making her have to rely more on her various equipment to keep up. Chell would obviously be coming into battle with her iconic portal gun. With this device, Chell would have the ability to place two portals on stage at a time, one orange and the other blue. With these portals, Chell can jump into one of them and come out the other to allow her to maneuver around the stage rather quickly, or maybe be used as a recovery option. And of course, to play with the new teamwork mechanic, Chell's teammate can also use the portals as well, much like with Bugs' tunnels. She could also use these portals as a way to fire projectiles back at her foes, much like she does against GLaDOS or Wheatley in the games. But the portal gun won't just be used to create portals, as it also has a gravity function which can allow her to carry cubes and even turrets. She can use this function to be able to grab her opponents and slam them against the ground. Heck, she actually does something like this in LEGO Dimensions. Speaking of cubes and torrents, these can also be a part of Chell's moveset. She can summon a cube that she can carry around using the portal gun's gravity function. This can be used to block incoming projectiles or maybe be dropped onto her opponent's head to crush them. Maybe there's even a chance that she can summon a discouragement redirection cube, which has the ability to reflect projectiles rather than just block them. She would also be capable of summoning a torrent as well, which can be used to shoot down any sucker dumb enough to get in its line of fire. Of course, much like the torrents in the main game, they are stuck in one spot and are easy to knock over with a single hit, though with the gravity function, she can move the torrent to any spot she wants. As for a potential recovery move, maybe she can spawn in an aerial faceplate underneath her in order to fling herself through the air, in order to make it back on stage.
Like an eagle, piloting a blimp.
If you use this move on the ground, you can leave the aerial faceplate on the ground as a trap. Anytime someone runs over it, it'll immediately launch them through the air, which can be a good way to catch them off guard and set up combos. You can place your cubes on them and launch them at your foes as well. Another good alternative for a recovery move could be Wheatley, having him lift you using his newly installed anti-gravity that he uses in LEGO Dimensions. With a moveset like this, you'll definitely have to play Chell much like you do in the Portal games, using your puzzle solving skills and what has been given to you in order to lay down the foundation and set yourself up for victory.
Now you're thinking with portals.
Voice acting. Seems like Multiversus is trying to flex having voice acting, unlike a certain other game, Nicole. So let's see who would be best to voice Chell. A character who doesn't talk.
But never mind, say apple. Apple. Okay, you know what? That's close enough. Just hold tight.
Huh. I guess we can move right along, is what you think I say! Because I think we have yet to include one of the best parts of Portal into this game. That's why, the genetic lifeform and disk operating system, otherwise known as GLaDOS.
Oh, it's you.
I don't think I'm over-exaggerating how important GLaDOS is to the series. Her snarky personality is what makes her such a fun villain, and I don't know why anyone would bother not to include her here. It would be pointless. Mad. And I think the perfect way to include GLaDOS is to have her as an optional announcer for Multiversus. Just imagine her criticizing any wiki mistakes a fighter makes, insulting their intelligence, and being sarcastic when she compliments a sudden play. After a person accidentally SDs, she could start clapping slowly.
Oh good. My slow clap processor made it into this thing. So we have that.
And whenever someone wins, she could just say that they did well. Enough. Obviously, I think there's no one better to voice GLaDOS than Ellen McLain. She does an amazing job selling GLaDOS' personality despite her robotic voice. She's even helped voice her outside of the visual games like in LEGO Dimensions. We've seen before just how well of an announcer GLaDOS can be in Poker Night 2, as she commentates on a poker game between Sam, Ash, Claptrap, and Samson. If she can comment on one crossover match, she can definitely do well here.
Hey, where'd my money go?
To a pleasant upstate farm where it has room to play with all its currency friends.
Though if being an announcer is for whatever reason off the table, there is still one other way we can incorporate it. Maybe we can have GLaDOS as a potato attached to Chell's portal gun, that way she can join her on the battlefield, bringing a cold sense of humor along for the ride. Just imagine her interactions with other characters. Maybe she references her meetings with people like Batman and Gandalf from LEGO Dimensions. Maybe have interest in testing characters with strange physicalities like Jake, or maybe have her overheat as she tries to wrap her head around how the heck Bugs' Toon Force works. So yeah, whether it be as an announcer or as a reluctant companion for Chell, GLaDOS should be included here one way or another. Also, Wheatley should be here too, because I like these characters and I'm greedy. I've already pitched him as a potential up special, but he can also be used for taunts as well as a potential windscreen. And if that's the case, I think Stephen Merchant should reply as well. Like McLain for GLaDOS, he also voiced Wheatley in LEGO Dimensions, so it's only fitting.
Oh, I'm loving this. Why another time?
In terms of potential alternate costumes for Chell, I did have a hard time figuring some out. She isn't really known for playing dress up like some of the other characters in this game. Of course, the two main costumes will be designs she has from Portal 1 and 2 respectively. Maybe have her be able to wear some of the different hats she could put on in the co-op mode of the game? This might be stretching it, but maybe she can also wear some costumes from other Valve games, like wearing the armor from Half-Life or wearing a red mercenary suit from TF2. That could work. But then again, that could just be me being desperate for some new TF2 content that isn't Fall Guys. For a stage intro, maybe she can step out of an elevator that then closes and goes off screen, like she does at the beginning of each test chamber. As for some taunts, she can have Wheatley pop out and annoy her for a bit before going away. She can pull out a companion cube and give it a big hug, showing her bond with it. And finally, she can create two portals above and below herself and just start falling infinitely before she just cancels out of it. And finally, for a victory animation, have her finally be able to dine down on some delicious chocolate cake. Or maybe have a victory screen where she's with a couple of tones that sing for her, like at the end of Portal 2. As for Chell's stage, it would obviously be the Aperture Science testing chamber. Have this stage change around with platforms moving up and down, summon things like light bridges or excursion tunnels, or splash some orange and blue gel everywhere. Maybe have GLaDOS on a screen in the background, kinda like Wheatley was in the final part of the game, as if this Multiversus match was some sort of test he was analyzing results for. And I think that just about does it. So all in all, I think Chell would make for a great inclusion for Multiversus. And many people, myself included, would be so happy to see Portal take part alongside some of fiction's greatest heroes. With a complex moveset and the appearance of many great characters like Wheatley and GLaDOS, my hope for Chell and Multiversus is still alive, and you wouldn't know how much this would mean to me.